What up, everybody? Thank you guys again for tuning in to another Grown Talk with Arrows. My name, obviously, is Jermunson Yazi. If you guys haven't checked out my other channel, check it out at Jermunson Yazi. I have a special guest who I've known for a couple of years now, maybe like 7 years now or something. Tours, we've done music together, we've done shows together, and he's a music producer and also an MC. So I'll let him introduce himself. Ladies and gentlemen, put your little hands together for my boy Kaos.
What's up, everybody? I go by Kaos from the Nation, Staley, Arizona. My clans are Totsni Nishle, Torachini Bachini, Torhane Dachche, Galashe Dashanella. And I'm happy to be here with y'all and just to talk about music and whatever else we got going on.
Cool.
Thanks for having me, Arrows.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. Go ahead and tell people a little about yourself, what you do, where you from, if you're single, if you're not single. Ladies, simmer down now.
I'm from Staley, Arizona. I'm a music producer. I make beats, I record, I engineer. I basically do everything musically from start to scratch if we need to. And am I single? Probably.
I'm just kidding.
Probably will never commit, bro. You know what it is.
As far as music production, engineering, did you go to school for that?
Hell no.
No?
Nah.
You just learned it all?
Yeah, I learned it all just by actually going through the process and recording myself. Self-taught, basically.
YouTube or no?
Some YouTube, yeah. Learn some of the more technical aspects through YouTube.
Yeah. So what first drew you toward becoming a... Wait, were you a producer first or a rapper or MC first?
Rhymer. I would say I was a rhymer first. I started off just writing when I was young.
Uh-huh.
Just writing to other people's beats, and then I didn't want to be on that vibe, just the whole mixtape era. Like, when we grew up, you know, like everybody's they would write and then rap to other people's beats and everything.
Right.
So I wasn't trying to be on the same wavelength. I was trying to be on my own original wavelength. So I started making my own beats and just create my own music from scratch.
Okay. What was your first instrument that you used to make your beats?
The computer.
The computer.
Yeah, I just made it all off the computer.
What program did you use?
I can't even remember what it was. It was a free music program that was on like the family computer that we all used. It was like a little studio, like a basic studio software.
Do you know do you remember how old you were?
I think I was probably 13 or 14. Teenage years.
And you first started to do all that music stuff on the res, or were you living somewhere else?
Yeah, I think I was living in Winter Rock at that time.
Have your parents always been supporters of your choice to do music? Because music's what you do full time, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I feel like they supported me. Yeah.
Yeah, from the beginning.
They didn't really know about it too much in the beginning, and they were sort of weary, you know, because hip hop always had a bad rep with a lot of people, you know.
Right.
So they think about the gang banging issues and all that stuff that gets brought up with it.
Uh-huh.
And all my cousins were getting into some crazy shit at that time with beefs and stuff. So, like, I think they were just more or less worried about that and me being influenced by everyone else and everything else that's going on.
Right now, at this point in your music career, what separates you from other Native American artists?
Just the originality of my beats, my production work. Like, I know you always tell me to try to be a type B rapper. But I just like, you know, when it comes to my original beats, it's always my own style. It always comes out that way. Yeah. Sample beats, it always comes out my own style. And I think I just want to try to bring that rawness back to hip hop. Because we talked about this like numerous times where people are always trying to be on the positive tip. But coming from where we're from, not everybody's positive. Everybody's going through some shit at some point. Right. You know, like, especially coming from the res, coming from where we're from. There's a lot of things going on, so I just try to bring back that realness, that rawness to hip hop.
Right. You feel like the rawness and the realness is kind of missing from native hip hop?
I feel like people could be more upfront about a lot of things. Instead of just like being so politically driven these days, you know. Everybody wants to be politically correct. Everybody wants to stand for something. But then you got kids back home just sort of living messed up, you know. Everybody wants to be politically driven nowadays. Everybody wants to be like on the political bandwagon, it seems like. And they don't talk about like the very minor issues happening back home. They're still happening, you know, considering like alcoholism and just sort of like drugs and everything. Not everybody's on that hype, especially where we're at. Like everybody's just like, be positive, everything's gonna work out. Like manifest something good. But then when you're dealing with the kid who's, you know, like his family's coming home and they're just drinking, they're doing all this and that, you know, like you can't push that in their head when all they see is negativity around them.
So give us an example of one of the songs that you've made that where you were trying to bring some rawness back into the hip-hop community.
One of my latest tracks come to mind when it comes to that. One of them being Holding Back. That's a track I showed you out in the park that one day. Where I sort of talk about just relationships in general with different people.
Right.
And it talks about like inner dynamics and everything. And that one I feel is sort of hit or miss because it could be a bit too deep for a lot of people.
Right.
But like that one was raw and I feel like it hit. It hits with certain people. I know it hits with, because the people that I listen to it, you know, they're artists like us, so it hits, like I know it hits a different way with them.
Right.
And if they just understand the context of where I was at when I wrote that song. Then I had this other song, I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. It's either gonna be Genocide or else Snakes, Treachery, and Destiny. Those are the two titles I'm going between it, but it's basically a song about sort of like police violence, corruption with the leadership, whether it's government or just leadership in general, you know, corruption, and how it all sort of like stems from the genocide of our people. And that like a lot of people won't understand the native aspect of the genocide because people think a lot of people think we're still dead, you know. A lot of people don't even know we're still here.
Right.
So those are all different like topics that just sort of come to mind when I think about the rawness of what I'm trying to get at.
Right. Okay. And when you create your music, is there a certain audience that you're trying to target?
I feel like I want to reach those younger kids who, you know, felt like they never had a voice. The kids who felt like they never had nobody there for them, you know?
Right.
So I guess those young res kids who just sort of feel like they need somebody to look up to.
Okay. From start to finish, can you explain your process? This is when you create a beat and then you create your lyrics and then you master and then you put it out. Can you explain the process from the beginning to the end?
Yeah. Well, it's always different. Sometimes I'll make the beat first, like you said. Start off with making the beat, and that's a whole process within itself. Where I could either start with the rhythm, the instruments, then add a drum line on top of it and the bass, or else I'll start with the drums and then the bass, and then add on the filling instruments with it. So that's how I go about doing the beats. Just whatever needs to be added in, I just add it in slowly, like layer by layer. And then I'll write to it, or else I'll either have lyrics that are already written down that I just need a beat for. And maybe I want a certain energy for those lyrics, like maybe I want it to be faster tempo, because a lot of my older music used to be slow tempo, like more slower than I would be used to rapping, like say on stage or something.
Yeah.
So I may write something to a whole nother beat and then create the beat. So the whole process, it interchanges, but overall it's just like either beat, lyrics, then go into recording. Or else it'll be lyrics, make a beat, then go into recording.
Do you find it easier for you to record in front of people or like by yourself?
I think if I had the time, I can like probably by myself, because I give myself the time I need to get it where I need to be at. Yeah, like so it's easier to record by myself, and every time I had gone to the studio with other artists, I feel like there's always been time restraints, so I always rush myself.
How many artists, ever since you started to work with or started to do collaborations, even with beats and then with like jumping on their tracks or even just recording them, how many artists do you feel like you've worked with from then till now?
Million.
A million. God damn.
Nah, it's a low number, but I'd say probably like artists I collaborate with and everything. I'd say about 10, 20.
Do you work with only people you trust, or do you work with anybody? Or do you work with a certain artist, or who do you work with? What makes these guys qualified? These 10 to 20 people qualified to step into Kaos's realm?
I think it's just because a lot of times I'm usually by myself, anyways. You know, I'm used to being alone, so these artists, like they just express interest in working with me. So, and it's not necessarily like they had to be qualified to work with me. It's just they expressed interest and we had mutual interest in the project. And there are artists who I don't feel mutually interested in working with them, you know?
Right.
So it's just like if there's mutual interest and if we can actually vibe in the studio and create good music in the end.
If somebody out there somebody out there wants to collaborate with Kaos, or even just get some studio time from Kaos, where can they find you?
Right now, the main social media I use is Instagram, so you can find me at KaosOfficial23 on Instagram. KaosOfficial23.
Kaos Official at Instagram. Go follow Kaos Official at Instagram. Whether if you're interested in music, whether if you're interested in recording, it doesn't really matter. You could just follow his journey, because Kaos Official, whether if you just want to follow his music journey, whether if you just want to support him in any type of way, even if you're an MC, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you want to purchase some beats from him too, he also has those for sale too, right?
Yeah, we can talk.
We can talk, he says. Just hit him up on Instagram, Kaos Official 23 on Instagram right now. Go. Pause this shit. Go over there, follow him, and come back. We'll wait. What project do you have right now that you're working on?
Well, we got your project.
Okay, my project, not important. People will hear it soon. What about you?
And
your project?
I'm working on I feel like I got 2 EPs almost complete at this point.
How many?
2 EPs, probably like 4 or 5 songs each.
2 EPs. Okay, what platform are they going to be released on?
One of them is probably going to be on SoundCloud because it's mainly sample based, and I don't want to pay for sample clearance on those right now.
Okay.
So that will be on the underground vibe for sure. And then the other one will be on all platforms. Okay. Because that one will be all original content, everything created by myself.
I can't wait for that one to drop, man. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to hear. All original material from Kaos, beats to engineering to mastering to lyrics to recording and all of that, vocals. That's gonna be good, and then they'll be able to find that on
all platforms.
All platforms, dude. You can be making money off your music.
Yeah.
Trying to wait for your project to drop so I can push play all night and just leave that bitch on repeat. Get you paid.
Hell yeah.
So this is your studio right here. This is your equipment. How long did it take you to get all of this?
Everything?
Yeah.
I accumulated it probably over. I probably started getting things in 2013, so 7, 8 years.
7 or 8 years.
Yeah, to accumulate everything.
Damn. So I recorded on this and his microphone up here, and this shit is clear. Like, I thought I sounded so good on my mic that I use until I jumped on this. It was so clear that I was like, man, I sound fucking whack. Yo, this quality is dope. So
hell yeah.
I'm letting you guys all know right now that if you need some work done, hit up Kaos at KaosOfficial23 on Instagram. We're in the music business. I'm sort of kind of in the music business, and it's very hard to find people to work with and find people, you know, like to trust in any platform. It doesn't matter what you're in. I just wanted to ask you to help put it in perspective for the people out there who are watching this, how hard it is to actually begin to build a relationship with certain people. Because personally, for me, when I'm doing music, like, the only person that I've ever collaborated with and put it out is probably Lefty the most.
Yeah.
And some other people, yeah, but it's not really like I was pushing that. It was like Lefty goes on all of my like when I used to release CDs, and this project that I have coming out, like Lefty's gonna be on a couple of them, and it's only him because we go way back since 5th grade, and I lived with him, and we shared, we go way back.
Yeah, day ones.
Yeah, so I'm just. Because a lot of people say you should collab with this person, you should collab with this person, and then it's kind of hard for me to explain it to people because I'm like, I don't fucking know that person. Like, I don't, you know? Yeah. How would you explain it to people?
Well, first of all, you need to understand, people are flaky as hell these days. That's the issue that I have with a lot of artists that, you know, they say they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm coming to the studio this day, I'm coming to the studio this day. And then I'll be trying to wait on them so they don't show up for like 2 hours. By that time I'm already done, you know what I mean? Like, I'm done, I'm not even trying to work with them at that point. So that's the first issue, is if there's flakiness or any of that type of energy, then I would probably just cut them off at that point in terms of studio time, in terms of collaborations.
Right.
Then the next thing is like, if they're consistent with their studio time, if they're consistent with their work and they're actually trying to get the projects done. So yeah, it's just sort of, I guess for me, the way I sort of filter out all of that is I watch how people move, I watch how they interact, and I watch how they carry themselves when it comes to their work. And I understand what you're saying, you know, it's like you can't just work with anybody. I mean, everybody says collaborate with them, collaborate with this, but you can't just do that because everybody's different.
Yeah, it's true.
Everybody acts differently, everybody behaves differently. And sometimes it's just not on your wavelength.
What is one thing that you wish you knew back then that you know now?
Well, when it comes down to music, I wish I knew about the power of acoustic treatment. You know, like, I barely got all this acoustic treatment this past year. And that helps the sound a lot more. Instead of it sounding like real. When I don't use acoustic treatment now, it sounds really scratchy to me and it sounds sort of irritating. But with acoustic treatment, then it gets more of your vocal range that you'd want it to pick up. So in terms of the technical aspects, that's probably one of the biggest things, is acoustic treatment and recording in the proper environment.
Right.
Which is hard, you know. I know it's hard for everybody, but I would say that should be a priority.
What about in terms of relationships and collaborations?
I would say you have to be happy, and you have to be willing to put in that work for your relationships and your whatever you're doing. You have to be able to put yourself all into it, and if you can't, then it really isn't worth it. If you can't dedicate your time. Like, when I was younger, like, you know, like I said, everybody would reach out about collaborations and stuff, and a lot of people would. And like, I hooked a few artists up with verses and stuff, like I said, so. But you spread yourself thin when you're just trying to please everybody. Don't be a people pleaser.
Someone out there I know is an artist who took one of your beats and completely killed it, or probably when you heard it, you were satisfied with it. Like, which beat was it that someone recorded over with their vocals and their lyrics, and then you were listening to it and you're just like, holy shit?
I feel like Samurai had a lot of hidden potential that nobody saw. But the beat that really stands out to me was probably the collaboration. She's always collaborating with other artists. So in terms of her, like, the beat I'm thinking about is Like This. I don't know if you ever heard that track. We only performed it and she dropped it on her SoundCloud.
Like This.
Yeah, and like, she fucking killed that shit. And
how does it sound?
I never crumble from the struggle, I gotta remain humble. I see the troubles when I fumble, so my movement's subtle. But if I wanna change the status quo while moving away from what I know, adapting to the highs and lows, cause the bass and treble is how I grow. Okay. And I know like the first time we performed that was at your show, downtown.
I think I remember. I know I remember you and her on a couple of tracks together.
Yeah.
And I think I remember that. How's the hook go?
It doesn't really have a hook. It doesn't have a hook. Yeah. But the other one that stands out was the Everything Is Everything, the track that you guys did together.
Okay. I know that one.
Cause I'm gonna be 100% honest. I didn't know. I felt like I was the only one who could fuck with that beat. I thought I was the only one, but then you guys killed it.
Oh, shit, huh? Yeah, that was a good song. That was on her SoundCloud. Your beats now, to me, are kind of switching up. I feel like, are you doing something different now? Or are you doing, what are you doing? Is it still your same process, your same sound? Or are you trying to like evolve differently?
I started studying music theory a bit more. So in terms of my original beats, like I started adding in more chord progressions, but also trying to keep it more simple. Because I feel like the reason why I feel like I didn't collaborate a lot with people and they weren't using my beats a lot when I first started out was like it sounded so good musically that people didn't know how to fill it in. So I just started simplifying everything I did.
You simple ass, dumbass motherfuckers. You can't fuck with Kaos's beats. God damn it. Your beats to me now are sounding really dope. The ones you showed me at the park. Yeah. I was like, man, this shit's dope, man. That's why I'm trying to convert Kaos here to a type rapper producer, but he's not really conforming.
Can't conform, man. I say, don't people please.
Don't people please. As far as music right now, what are your goals?
My goals are just to drop music, create, and try to elevate my sound to another level, and to try to help out younger artists coming up.
Patience. How important is patience when you do what you do?
I say patience is key. It's like very important. Because like I said, like for me personally, I know if the work is rushed, then I feel like it's always going to be noticeable. You're just going to know it's a rushed job and that people just try to get it out as quick as they could. So patience is very important when it comes to making music. You have to be able to sit in the studio for hours on end, just recording, getting the right sound, making sure your verses sound right, make sure your word selection is right. Because I work with some artists and I feel like their bars could be upped one if they change up one rhyme or something like that, you know? So it's like your rhymes have to be right. Everything has to be on point. Especially since you're recording it, like you're recording it and you're putting it out to the world as a final product. So it should be your best work all
the time.
Yeah.
One thing I never understood is why or how you love recording other people so much. Because I'm fucking selfish and I wouldn't even have the patience or even the will to sit here like you did for me when I was recording. I couldn't do it. How do you do it? Why do you do it?
Money, bro.
The money.
I was playing, bro. Like, I just like the technical aspects of recording. I like the technical aspects of editing everything together and understanding how to make a sound and take it where you want to take it. Or take it where another artist wants to take it. Like, it opens the mind in a different way, and it's very calming to me. It's like therapeutic to me. It's sort of like my way to get away from all the noise of the world, just to focus on one sound.
To the young producers, to the young rhymers, to the young MCs out there in the world, man or woman, boy or girl, do you have any advice?
I think the only advice that, because a lot of young artists, we do youth workshops and all that too. So a lot of the young artists who want to come into music in some way, they ask me that same thing, like, what's your biggest advice to give me? Like, a few kids have come up and asked me that. And mine is just to be completely original. Like, don't try to sound like everybody else. Don't try to be somebody else just to make the money. Like, put out work that you're happy with. Be happy with yourself. Find happiness within yourself so then you can push your work out and your voice out to the world.
Everybody has a collaboration that they're waiting for to happen. Everybody wants to collaborate with one certain person. Who is that person for you?
I've been a kid, I've always wanted to collaborate with Bone Thugs. So one group, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Like Bone Thugs and Harmony. So maybe Busy Bone would be cool though, if I had to go down to one artist.
I feel like Busy Bone can kill every beat that you have.
Oh yeah.
Some of your beats are like real fast paced, and when I'm like trying to vibe with it in my head, it's too fast for me to vibe to. I feel like maybe I'm just nodding to the wrong part of the beat or something. Maybe there's something in there that I don't hear yet. But if a beat gets too crazy for me like that, then I just go to the next beat.
Yeah.
My brain I'm not on the same frequencies as you are. If you guys want to follow Kaos's journey, make sure you guys do so. Follow him on Instagram at KaosOfficial23.
Right now I have beats for the artists who are out there, maybe on the Reds or somewhere else. I got beats that I could show you, send out a private link to some beats that you could check out. I haven't started posting my stuff just openly yet.
Right.
So hit me up, and like I said, we could talk about it. I could send you beats, I could send you links to the beats and everything. And for artists in the Albuquerque area and surrounding areas, I got the studio open. If y'all wanted to come in, get some work done, do some work, I'm open to working.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my boy, Kaos. Follow him at KaosOfficial23 on Instagram. And like he said, if you want any work, just hit him up. He got beats, and he's got a good heart, man. He sits here and he makes other artists feel special in a way where they don't even gotta beg him to come toward the studio, man. He just invites people in with open heart. So hit up my boy on Instagram and look out for him and I's project coming together. We recorded like 6 songs already, or
5
songs? 5 songs in one day, but the day before was what? Is that 5 too?
The day before got fucked up.
Oh yeah. Never mind. So we only recorded 5 tracks in one day. So I'm excited for my projects to be finalized, so I can share it with the world too. I don't know, man. I'm excited because I haven't recorded with someone who actually loves to work with other artists. Like as far as engineering, mastering, and recording, I haven't. It was always just me.
Yeah.
And then jumping on the mic and then recording and just fucking with everything like I know what I'm doing. But it's gonna be.
It came out nice, bro. Your stuff comes out nice.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kaos, rhymer and music producer. Hit him up on Instagram, Kaos Official. Anything else?
Just keep a lookout for those upcoming projects. I'll be posting more about it in the coming month. The 2 EPs, coming out probably March to May at some point. After I figure out all the logistics of it, so keep a lookout for those.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right then. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, make sure you guys subscribe. Did I say it right? Subscribe.
Prescribe.
Make sure you guys prescribe and then subscribe and then describe and then hit the notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Grown Talk with Kaos. Peace.